Yo, what it do, everybody? Welcome back to episode 10, season one in the Socialpreneurship podcast. I'm really excited for today's episode as for we're meeting with one of the best young social entrepreneurs that social media has to offer right now. Dude has over 75,000 followers, I think, already amassed on Instagram, is creating followings on TikTok and all the other social media platforms as well. So welcome to the stage, my homie Esteban.
Hey Joe, thanks for having me.
Of course,
Excited,
bro. Of
excited to
course.
be on. So, a little bit about me. My name is Esteban, and I am from Connecticut in the United States. I'm 15 years old, and I got started with online business and really entrepreneurship overall about 6 months ago. And ever since then, just been experiencing the ups and downs, taking it as I go, and just putting on all the effort I can.
Fire, bro. Fire, yeah. So I guess you told us a little bit about yourself. So how did you get into Instagram, into the business itself? Kind of like what was that spark in your life, I guess, that like was like, I'm gonna start this Instagram page right now and like just grind and go to work and create this agency.
Yeah, so I really wanted, well, the first kind of part of my life that sort of led up and built up to me starting this Instagram business was just me being able to have a little more control over my life, being able to buy things, being able to start saving my own money, and later on being able to invest consistently to build more wealth for myself. So it was also getting that idea of early financial knowledge that motivated me into starting this Instagram business and doing whatever it took to make it work.
No, exactly. And I know that you play soccer as well. So like I'm assuming that you just were like going to school and just playing soccer and that you were really just like of course soccer is like super fun, but you were looking for that like spark, that school couldn't really bring and like that excitement.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, when you get to like high school and into the later grades, a lot of the subjects you'll find that you don't have enjoyment in. So you've got to find other ways on the outside of school into your personal life where you can actually like stimulate your brain and really go into what you're interested in.
No, exactly. And like it's really cool that we have this opportunity now with internet and social media and like iPhones and any really just devices in general that like we can really create any like world and try anything as long as like we have like the guts to go out and do it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, so give me like a rundown of like what you do in your Instagram business. Shout out, put the at and everything. Just give me the rundown of like your total business and also like how you're helping people.
All right, so I run the page Wealth Surplus on Instagram, and this page I started about 5 months ago. We've been able to put together a nice audience. After my first three pages, all of them, I started to get into quite of a rhythm with them, and three of them got disabled. So it was not like straight to a successful page. A lot of my pages, I experienced really like times where I was desperate for that next to take that next step into a successful path for my business. So I started
Yeah.
that page Wealth Surplus, and I was super careful with it in the sense of following Instagram's like parameter set and really knowing what I was doing. But I was also kind of putting it all into risk because I'd also sacrificed and sunk so many hours into that I just knew I had to make it work. So what I'm mainly doing with my business now is I'm helping other other young people who want to be entrepreneurs or who are already entrepreneurs start up their own business through Instagram, drop shipping, and many other alternate ways of social media. And the whole main goal of that kind of we call it a mentoring program, but a little bit like a coaching program is to also bring impact into their lives where we can teach these young entrepreneurs about wealth management, about like what to do with the money they earn from Instagram that we teach through the various ways that we teach them. So it's overall just a full life impact.
Exactly. And it's not like exactly like you were saying, it's not just like the finance and like the way that they can create their own programs and their own businesses, but you're like teaching them and you're guiding them like to lead them to the correct mindset that you need to be an entrepreneur and that you need to be successful. Because like I remember when we met, you didn't even have wealth surplus yet. It was wealth growth. or wealth growth alpha or something along those lines. And it was really just a grind for us at that point. Like we were literally just had super small Instagrams and we were just pumping out content with no direction really. I guess we knew the direction. We knew that we wanted a lot of followers, but um it was kind of just that we had to figure out that path from there on like kind of where we wanted to take each of our businesses. And like you said that you've done like phenomenal growth tactics to scale your page and to like you said you hit that groove where you were posting and posting and posting. Um and correct me if I'm wrong, but you were just posting like a lot of you were doing posts, but you kind of stepped off the gas and did kind of more quality over quantity and kind of put out some good reels, some good posts, but more in like a strategic way and like let them like kind of expand on themselves and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to. A lot of people they say they want to step away from their business, let it start generating income from themselves, and
Automation.
yeah, exactly. And I did that in a sense in terms of my programs and coaching. But on the other hand, did want to stay connected to my brand. So a lot of what I was taking part in with my brand was actually finding the content because I had content creators, all these different members of my team in place. But I really found that it was so much more rewarding to be able to create this motivational content and also find these reels that I knew would impact the lives of people who really needed to see it. I've gotten tons of messages from people like thanking me for posting that specific content. So a lot of that was a lot of the big thing for me, especially the way we both kind of got started out. We both came out of, I remember it was IG Elites, I think. Both like took that next step and invested into getting a mentor, which was probably a, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but a very profitable investment for both of us because it was an investment in ourselves. So that was really like what got the wealth surplus page going.
Exactly. It really is that like that initial investment into yourself, and you might not see the return monetarily immediately, but in the knowledge that you gain like right off the bat, and that like you kind of learn like that mindset in IG. Like IG Elites more sets you up with the skills that you need to know and the fundamental things. And then I know I had another mentor, and you did as well, and they were both more like personal mindset mentors in that they like both guided us on how to like approach the business and how to really like keep calm, cool, and collected and really like get the best out of ourselves. And like once we actually invested in ourselves, like that's how we got to the places that we are now. And that's how we are going to exponentially see the returns from like everything that we've done before. I know that like I've spent probably close to like 600 $700 on self-education. I've taken some like real estate classes. I've taken some mentorship programs in like Instagram businesses. And like I know that $700 is going to be like 1,000 times returns on those investments into myself. And I know that you know the same exact thing. So like on your terms, now that we're speaking about the future and how we're helping people and stuff like that, where do you see your page and your business going from here? Like you're helping tens, if not hundreds. Well, definitely. I don't even know how many mentees you have up to this point, but probably approaching like 50 or 100 or something at that point.
Yeah, so we did actually just pass over the 150 mentee and course members mark last week. So
Incredible.
that was a pretty big milestone for us to be able to reach, to be able to impact that many people and set them on their way towards like earning their own income on Instagram.
Definitely. And so how do you see yourself expanding, if not into something, into another business maybe, or if not, how do you see yourself scaling to help thousands, if not tens of thousands of people?
So for me, a lot of this whole idea of scaling and the expansion was more about mastering the business I was currently in, and in order to like succeed in my current business, I set up effective systems and different processes that were already in place to ensure that everything was able to go smoothly. I got through finals in school. I was studying 3 4 hours a day, but yet my whole business was still able to go smoothly, and I could still go out and enjoy my life. So really from there I see those processes being able to take my like make it so I could take my foot off the gas on my business and really leave it up to my team members for it to grow, because from there a lot of a lot of building your personal wealth too is about how you keep your money. So being able to like keep your money and then put it into other investments like crypto, I'm definitely into the whole idea of long-term investing. Big fan of Warren Buffett and all the principles
He's
that
the
he
goat.
preaches. Exactly. So really from there, that's where I see myself going. I've been starting to definitely get into that whole idea of crypto and day trading, but I always do have a part of me that will always be involved in the long term investments and just filling up my different ETFs and different index funds every single month just to keep that going for the long term as well.
No, definitely. And it's important, like you said, with that automation side of things, it's get your team members to like work on the daily tasks and work on the things that like have to be done in your business that generate the money so that you can do the other things that are going to scale and expand the business and yourself. That's what all entrepreneurs do. Like you don't see an entrepreneur picking up the phone. Like not in the beginning, you'll see them picking up the phone and making the calls themselves. But as soon as they can, to get those like automation systems and processes in place, exactly what you were talking about. And they hire those people that they need, and then they're making the money. And then you get it's like it's a money machine at that point in time. You put some money in, and then you get more money out of it, and then you get more money out of it, and you reinvest that money, and you get more out of it.
I totally do agree with that. And that kind of links back into our whole idea of self investment as well. Because to put it into my personal terms, when my business first started earning, I was able to use my growth tactics to start scaling my business quickly. So that income did start to rise quite fast. And it did take a hit a little bit due to some complications with my page, like shadow bans that were unprecedented, but we were able to get through them. And from that, in the first few months, I took very little profit for myself. Almost all of it went back into investing in shoutouts, lead generation, into and just into my outside assets as well. So really, a lot of that like whole idea and part of scaling is being able to have the mindset where you're able to put back into your business and understand that you'll get out.
Yeah, I think the successful mindset that you need for an entrepreneur in that is that you are gonna put in and put in and put in until you reach that tipping point that you're gonna get out of it. Because we all know that like as entrepreneurs, we're not gonna settle. We'd rather continue to go into debt and further obviously not go into debt, but like debt's not bad. But I mean Robert Kiyosaki debt is good. But it's
Yeah, rich
using
dad poor dad.
yeah, exactly. It's using leverage and using that money to keep trying new things and spending thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars in hopes in that knowing that we're going to create that 100,000 $1 million, $10 million product. And so it's that mindset that you need to just keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah, totally. And what a lot of what people don't understand either is that not every single investment you make is going to have those immediate results. And society today is way too into this whole idea of instant gratification that so many people, after maybe they'll make an investment of time or money into their business and they don't see results right away, then they turn away from it. But people are really wasting these talents that can make them millions of dollars, help them reach their goals, dreams, and aspirations. And from that, it really stays under that whole idea of investing yourself and patience in entrepreneurship.
Exactly. Instant gratification is the most toxic trait that we have here because anything that you're going to get rich quick, anything along those lines where you're going to actually make an unreal amount, if it sounds unreal in your head in the timeline that you're going to make the amount of money, there's a very high chance that it's unrealistic. And it's just a lot easier and you're going to save yourself a lot more effort and a lot more time and a lot more money if you just do it the right way and you just like grind and work and like actually work for what you eat and don't just like scam and do bad things for other people.
Yeah, exactly. And part of that whole idea of scaling too is also treating your customers, especially as a business owner, with as like making them feel like they matter. So you need to be first prioritizing how you give value to your customers and your audience, and from then the result will come by providing the value.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. So just as we wrap this up, I got two more questions for you. What are some of your tips that you got for Instagram growth, social media growth? Just super, you don't need to give us the cheat sheet hacks, just some mindset things to focus on and some things maybe to focus on physically within some of the apps. Um, just for the listeners to give them some marketing knowledge.
So my very first, which this is what you hear a lot, but a lot of people don't tell you how, is that you have to be unique. When I was starting my page, at first it was this like my brand colors were in the black and white theme, but then I took a look at it and I said, how can I be different from other people? So I actually alternated my entire brand towards being unique, and by becoming unique, you can separate yourself from the competition because if somebody sees those brand colors, then they can think of your brand. And it's that whole brand recognition that companies like, for example, McDonald's thrive on. They use their red and yellow to symbolize happiness, warmth, and that the same thing applies to an Instagram or social media brand. Being unique and having a like a brand name association to your brand is going to be what carries you forward and helps you to get to that whole process of scaling because you can really become a titan of your industry and start to dominate.
No, literally. I remember you were one of the first dudes to start using the gradient like theme and like incorporating that into all of your like posts and to all of your like everything and your page now like I mean anybody looks at your page and anybody will be very impressed and they'll like I highly recommend definitely going to give Wealth Surplus a follow. Anybody who's listening to this. But no, it's crazy how like trial and error and figuring out these certain things really goes like that's how you find the success. And the formula, the equation that I've kind of came up with on my channel, I guess, is that really the only formula for success is you need to be authentic, you need to be yourself. And that's exactly what you're saying, and you need to be consistent. All you need to do is be yourself and just keep doing it and keep pushing and keep grinding. If not a month, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter as long as you're passionate, you're authentic, and you're consistent. You're really like you really are. You're gonna succeed at one point in time. And it's really just about not giving up.
Exactly. And for those, another kind of tip I'd have about really marketing is sharing your personal life with your audience. I, in my page, which even I'm still looking to do a better job of displaying my personal life, you
You
need to
definitely got
have
time.
a special connection of your audience. And yeah, it's really also about like letting them know and like letting them see your lifestyle to get motivation and showing them not only the ups and the highs but also the lows of like the different parts of your life and being able to self-reflect and really self-evaluate is one of the multiple habits that separates the most successful people of our society from people who they get a problem and they just fold. It's really all about that like mindset and consistency and all of that. It's really about your perception.
Exactly. And like all of the like there's no real like hacks to get followers fast. It's all just really trying out the different options and really just like seeing what works best for your page. It could be reels, it could be posts, it could be hero posts, quote posts, doing long captions. Like there's so many different elements that you can incorporate, and I highly recommend using all of them, doing all of them. And I know Esteban probably does recommends that as well. But then the last question I have for you, and you've kind of answered this before with the cryptos and all that, but what are some of your other passions other than like marketing and like coaching, mindset coaching and stuff like that? Like what are we going to see Esteban in the next 10 years, 20 years? What other industries?
So I've actually kind of started to return back to the idea where you need kind of balance in your life. So with this whole idea of business and getting an education while being an athlete, I've also kept the whole idea that I still want to be able to live my like perfect lifestyle. So from there, I'll be continuing to step further and further back from my business while still having the goal of providing more value and staying consistent with the Wealth Surplus brand because I'm gonna be completely transparent. I've had days on the Wealth Surplus brand where I've just wanted to like give up, like sell away the page, give up my business. But what really motivates me is still seeing the value that people find from it, and also the personal benefits that it has to me, giving me something to do with my time, and also giving me a sense of purpose to be able to make so many people feel motivated in their own lives. And of course, there are people who are gonna come at, like, especially with these online brands, people will come at your brand. They can say really negative comments that can really throw you off. But going back to that whole idea of mindset, it's really about like keeping your head up and you just got to keep going straight forward towards your goals.
You couldn't have said it better. Like literally look in my YouTube section, look in the YouTube comment section that I got. Like there's going to be haters everywhere, and the only way that you're going to succeed is if you block them out and you feed off their energy. And it's blocking them out and then like letting their not feeding off their energy, but like not like letting it get to you, but like using it to fuel yourself and using it to know that they're probably just jealous that of what you have and that what you've built for yourself. So just all we can do is continue to build ourselves up, and to build the community that we're building around us up, and and we'll hope for the best. And there's always going to be people saying negative things and trying to bring us down and trying to do so many different things, but the negativity doesn't matter if you don't let it in, and only take in the positivity and create abundance. So
Totally. Going back to that whole idea of perception too, to add on to that, a lot of these people who are like sending hate your way, I'm not completely sure who said this, but you if you don't have haters, that means you're not doing something right. It means you don't stand for anything. If you stand for something, then you're gonna get hate going your way, and that means you are doing the right thing. So that's where you really have to find yourself and kind of stay true to your personal values. And you should always have personal values just set for how you would like to live your life.
yeah, you certainly cannot please everybody, and you'll kill yourself trying to please everybody. So really just like honestly, if you can even just impact 100 people on this world, or 1,000 people, probably more like 1,000 people or 5,000 people on the entire world of 7 billion people, you could probably survive and make an income, and have a small business and live very comfortably. And going back to what you said before about that balance, and that how your passions like aren't you're not going to start 100 different businesses, and that you're going to take what you have and scale it, and you're going to not disconnect from it, but you're going to like connect in a different way with your life and what you actually want to do, and create that automated life. And that is how you're going to become successful, bro. Like it's the 4 hour work week. It's not over stressing yourself, making things difficult. It's going with the process and scaling as your brand scales, and just like reaping the benefits as everything goes through the process. And you know it better than anybody else.
Of course, this whole kind of idea of like enjoying what you do and sticking to like what really like stimulates your mind, like that idea of like personal happiness, that's really like what is key to just translating into the other parts of your life, because people will feed off your energy, especially in the world today where people are so influenced by the opinions and thoughts of others. If you can have that positivity when you go around, then that will only be good for everyone else in the world. So people will you'll impact people not just through the screen, you'll impact them in person.
Literally. And that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to it's people over profits. And we are gonna take our profits, and we are gonna take all of the money that we've hard earned, but it's we're impacting lives, and we're not scamming people, we're not stealing money. We're trying to create better opportunity and more opportunity for everybody out there. And that's what entrepreneurship, and that's what social entrepreneurship is about. And that's why it's just really important to keep that as a backbone and a pillar of any business that you're a part of, that you're employed by, or that you started, um, and just to take that belief into it, because like it's just like karma. Like it's like if you put good into the world, if you do good things for people, like you're gonna continue to reap the benefits from doing those good things.
Yep, completely agree with that.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Esteban, for coming on here and being a part of Social Entrepreneurship Friday, letting me pick your mind and interview you. We'll definitely do this again. Give it 6 months, a year. The podcast will keep going. We would love to get some updates on what you're doing in the future, and how you're becoming a titan of the industry. So when we'll see you back at 200,000 followers.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So peace out, guys.